challenges by ourselves. I believe that there's no more effective advocate than Hillary Clinton for that well-rounded view of how we advance American interests. She has served on the Armed Services Committee in the Senate. She knows world leaders around the world. I have had extensive discussions with her, both pre-election and post-election, about the strategic opportunities that exist out there to strengthen America's posture in the world. And I think she is going to be an outstanding Secretary of State. And if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't have offered her the job. And if she didn't believe that I was equipped to lead this nation at such a difficult time, she would not have accepted. Okay. John McCormick, where's John? There you are.
Thank you, Mr. President-elect. You're known as a pretty good storyteller. Can you tell us a little bit of a story about how Senator Clinton was selected for this job? Was there a seminal moment? How was the offer extended? Can you give us some detail on how it was accepted and kind of the negotiation process that was involved here? And also, does Secretary Gates meet the requirement for a Republican on the cabinet, or should we be looking for others as well?
Well, I mean, I didn't check his voter registration. Secretary Gates meets the qualification of being an outstanding current Secretary of Defense and somebody who is doing everything he can every single day to make sure that our troops are properly equipped and trained and organized in order to succeed at their missions and that their families are cared for. So I have complete confidence in Secretary Gates being able to carry out his tasks. And I think the point here is that I didn't go around checking people's political registration. What I was most concerned with was whether or not they can serve the interests of the American people. With respect to Senator and soon-to-be Secretary of State Clinton, it was not a light bulb moment. I have always admired Senator Clinton. We have worked together extensively in the Senate. I have always believed that she is tough and smart and disciplined, and that she shares my core values and the core values of the American people. So I was always interested, after the primary was over, in finding ways in which we could collaborate. After the election was over and I began to think about my team, it occurred to me that she could potentially be an outstanding Secretary of State. I extended her the offer, and she accepted. I know that's not as juicy a story as you were hoping for, but that's all you're going to get, John. Thanks. Where's Dean? There you are. Hey, Dean.
Mr. President-elect, I'm wondering, sir, do you still intend to withdraw all U.S. forces from Iraq in 16 months after inauguration? And did you discuss that, the possibility of that, with Secretary Gates before selecting him?
Well, keep in mind what I said during the campaign, Dean, and you were there most of the time. I said that I would remove our combat troops from Iraq in 16 months, with the understanding that it might be necessary, likely to be necessary, to maintain a residual force to provide potential training, logistical support to protect our civilians in Iraq. The SOFA that has been now passed by the Iraqi legislature points us in the right direction. It indicates we are now on a glide path to reduce our forces in Iraq. I will be meeting with not only Secretary Gates, but the Joint Chiefs of Staff and commanders on the ground to make a determination as to how we move that pace, how we proceed in that withdrawal process. I believe that 16 months is the right time frame, but as I've said consistently, I will listen to the recommendations of my commanders, and my #1 priority is making sure that our troops remain safe in this transition phase, and that the Iraqi people are well served by a government that is taking on increased responsibility for its own security. It is a sovereign nation. What this signals is a transition period in which our mission will be changing. We will have to remain vigilant in making sure that any terrorist elements that remain in Iraq do not become strengthened as a consequence of our drawdown. But it's also critical that we recognize that the situation in Afghanistan has been worsening. The situation in South Asia as a whole and the safe havens for terrorists that have been established there represent the single most important threat against the American people, and that we're going to have to mobilize our resources and focus our attention on defeating al-Qaeda, bin Laden, and any other extremist groups that intend to target American citizens. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
Jake, do we go to Dean now?
They're still in the show.